Gabe Newell and Pierre Lou talking about the Steam Deck, which is in front of us. Gabe, first of all, it's the world has changed a lot since I was last sitting here with you, right before Alex shipped. Yep. Welcome back from New Zealand. Is it good to be back home here?
Yeah, it's great to be back in the offices and getting to work with everybody face to face.
So the Steam Deck, we've been spending a couple days with it, and I'm really happy to be sitting down here with you. I'm curious, how did the idea for this first reach your ears? What was sort of the first moment where this came up to you?
Well, a lot of times the conversations we're having internally are about, what can we contribute? How are we adding something to the PC gaming community? So if you look at Index and Alex, that was for us trying to answer the question of, how can we push forward when we're designing software and hardware hand in hand to allow us to take advantage of this new opportunity of VR. It was an important step, and I think it sort of lays the ground for future work we're going to be doing on both the game side and the hardware side. That's sort of how the conversation goes, is what are we doing that's going to move stuff forward? I think a lot of gamers have always felt that there's not a great mobile gaming hardware device out there for us to use. So if I'm a customer, I'm either using touch, which is terrible for first-person shooters, or I have to go, in a proprietary direction that has really limited access to titles. And if I'm a developer, I'm living with those things and saying, I really hate having to apologize for the kinds of experiences we're giving people on the mobile device. So that, in that sense, it was a pretty natural conversation for us to have. And there are things at various time horizons that you're looking at. So obviously, I've been thinking a lot about brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing where you're public about it way in advance of any sort of products or things like that. But it just sort of fits into that overall conversation. So it wasn't that strange a conversation. It was like we're always talking about mobile gaming platforms and the trade-offs that we feel exist for ourselves as game players and as game developers. So it was pretty natural.
So it sounds like you didn't really need much convincing. It was a pretty
world and run them in a mobile environment, we all have known that forever, right? I mean, if you'd asked gamers 20 years ago, they would have been saying the same thing. It's just, we're sort of at the point now where the technologies, the enabling technologies advance, the mobile gaming hardware has reached the point where we can really pull that off.
What does success, you just kind of mentioned what you're doing with Index and with Alex and trying to sort of move things forward there in that realm. What does success look like for Valve on this? Like, monetarily, does the whole project need to break even? Does it need to be profitable? Does that matter? Is it about driving Steam's subscriptions, engagement? What's sort of the KPI here?
Well, I think it gets harder over time. We're a very financially very successful company, right? And the problem with lots of interesting things is they tend to have exponential curves, and if you're looking at the wrong part of that curve, you're not making good decisions about the future, right? So with VR, our expectation is it's a very long haul and that they're fundamentally important technologies that are being developed. And if at any point you're sort of narrowly defining the goalposts and saying, well, how's that doing against, the latest CSGO,
Like and maybe pivots away from
it's gonna
a damage items and goes auras, because there was only one damage hero, right? So I thought that game was actually going to be pretty explosive too. But I think best of fives call for pretty much anything. Teams can be a bit more careful, and let's get underway.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. We're ready to go here with game one between Liquid and Na'Vi. And very much looking forward to see how these two teams match up. And indeed, the mid lane, always going to be somewhere that you want to focus when, Nisha in particular has been playing at the level that he has. Up against Niku on the Ember Spirit, it's absolutely going to be a test for Niku, right? Obviously, super skilled on the Ember. He's been coming in with some hot performances as well. Grandmaster tier on this Ember Spirit. But you're a melee hero up against a static link. It's not the most fun situation to find yourself in the laning stage.
No, and even just without static link, right? Just
with the plasma spam.
Hits you and just the storm surge, extra little pokes of damage. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The other thing I do want to talk about is the change in dynamic, though, right? Nisha's not playing an active, Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Puck. That's the difference. So we'll see if that causes any type of results in the mid game where Niku's able to thrive, even if his lane goes badly with these rotations with the two supports. We'll have to see.
Let's find out.
Going for sneaky first blood play.
Tofu and Boxes is not necessarily a position you expect to find them.
This is
They can mess
dangerous.
around with Zayats. Well, they've got the blood grenade to set things up. He'll turn with the avalanche. Mickey's heading over as well to help out. Should be a pretty surefire first blood. They'll try and give it to Mickey, and they'll succeed in doing so. So first blood here for Mickey as the carry to start his lane off.
Yep, and he does just go Link level 1, so that was first CS in terms of that first wave. He's got 20 damage. That's going to be tough for Niku to deal with. Yeah, smart setup. Don't see that too often, that positioning for people to go.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely. That catches them completely by surprise. We've obviously sort of seen teams do this whole kind of, start with a tri lane and one of the side lanes for that first blood attempt, but making the move there away from the lane, not something that we're seeing a lot of teams doing at all.
And we did have to mention something too. I did want to say this because Shadow Demon made it pretty far. This hero has been a first ban, first pick of the tournament. So we're going to have to see what results that has too, because this hero just has like infinite potential in games. Either with Demonic Purge, either with saving targets. All of his toolkit just feels incredible. And in this game in particular, there's some pretty clear Purge targets and some pretty clear Cleanse targets that he can protect his allies with versus Change, Fire Spirits. Definitely has.
And I guess that's because the interesting thing there as well is because it's such an obviously strong hero that we've seen being respected in the majority of drafts and matches that we've had so far, that the only reason why it would be let through, right, is because Na'Vi believe that they've got ways to play against it.
It's got to be just like, most of the job is going to be Zayats. And Zayats and Niku, they've got to be the hunters, catching the back line, causing chaos, making sure this Tofu can't play the game. But it can be a bit difficult. I've seen these Shadow Demons either be very tanky or very sneaky, and he's going to have auras, so we have to factor that in. Niku's doing pretty good, by the way. Watching those couple waves, he was doing pretty good in terms of last hits on those. Very close.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, getting quite a few denies in actually against Nisha. You can only imagine that it's probably going to get harder and harder as the levels come in. The Razor gets stronger in the matchup. Niku's going to end up taking more damage, losing more right-click damage to the Link. See top lane Tofu in trouble. Zayat's a PMA able to get the kill as he's caught out just outside of the lane. So Na'Vi getting themselves their first kill on the board.
This is a fun lane to watch. I like Pime on his Phoenix quite a bit too. I think they strayed away from it for quite a few days, if I'm not mistaken. I actually didn't get to see all of the games yesterday. I don't believe that he played it. No, he didn't. So it's been some days since he did play, but I do like when they play this style. Goes for that bearing build that we've seen a lot of times. Shiva's very valuable.
Oh, bottom lane.
Bottom
lane.
lane.
They could get the glimpse back, but it's snowball save. Got the juice. Can he still get in range? He's not going to quite be able to there without good snowball save from Boxy. Obviously something they will always have to try and stop that sort of move, which is very important, right? You get glimpsed back into a couple of raises, it could set up for easy kills for the safe lane SF. So a lot of focus is going to be on Boxy to be ready to make that counter play anytime. Got the juice and Riddies go for that.
Yeah, and in the game, right, we were talking about it us like when this draft was going on, but they have Shadow Demon and Tusk versus Glimpse, so they will have two different ways to bail each other out in terms of either laning phase or in the mid game. Riddies going for it again. Foxy.
See if they can get it this time. They're actually going to turn aggressively with the snowball straight onto Got the Juice. He'll get a raise out. Can he bring down Ace first? He can't. Nope. Ace will survive a little longer. Does still die to Riddies, but survive long enough to get the kill, get the XP, killing off Got the Juice back over in the mid. We were seeing Niku. He was playing aggressive under the tower. He was doing a pretty good job with it, honestly. Getting a lot of pressure onto Nisha, getting him low, but was ultimately playing with fire, or at least in this case, electricity. Nisha's able to turn, run him down, and get that kill. It's one of those just super dangerous lanes, right? Niku's trying to push it to the limit. It costs him his life there.
It does, and I mean, we hear Quinn talk about that all the time when he plays versus Niku, right? Niku sometimes just does have a little bit of these random deaths where he pushes the limit a bit too hard. Then
Got the juice. Yeah, very nicely chasing him down there, catching him just on the edge of that long distance raise. So, whilst he did get taken down in that lane, they're starting to kind of get the action going down here, get some of the kills going the way of the SF. So Got the Juice, despite dying, he's going to be pretty happy. Farm's still good. He's matching that of the farm of Mickey on the other side of the map. Both of them very similar CS. See mid, TP coming in from Zayat. He does have a Mango, and he's going to get the toss onto Niku, closing the gap with the chains, but Niku's very, very low.
Oh my god.
Well, that was a risky toss there. You know, that was nearly one of the tiny airlines gone wrong. He does live, he does get out, so you can see what they were trying to do. But it's not just Niku apparently who likes to take the risks around the mid lanes. His supports like to help him take the risks as well. He gets away with it this time, but that was a bit close.
Nisha's really bullying now that he's 3-2. 2 points in that static link. Niku's having difficulty dealing with it. That was 71 bonus damage. I don't think the Tiny saw it at first. Is Tofu?
No.
He's trying for like a solo play, but that's quite a bit of mana used.
Zayats will be able to walk back to base, get the refuel. TP's going to be coming into the mid now from Riddies. They couldn't do it here with Zayats. Maybe they could do it here with Riddies. They certainly can. Thunderstrike can do a quick glimpse back. I mean, these sort of moves, very important for Na'Vi, right? You got to be bringing in this backup, allow Niku to get the chance to get kills. Could be in trouble here. Tofu is around. Snowball's coming in, so Liquid in return, they bring both of their supports and will manage to punish Niku after Na'Vi were able to make that initial move to take Nisha down. So we're seeing that focus around the mid. It's kicking off as we'd hoped for it to be, and it's coming up now to that first power rune. We'll see if both teams keep the supports around and who's going to be able to get their hands on it. At the moment, Liquid's got the numbers. Still Nisha, backed up by both supports here for the 6-minute rune spawn.
Hard to contest the SD Tusk. These are just a bit too strong around that one. See if Riddies can maybe even go for a deny on it. No, they can't. So Nisha, he'll get that one. He's 6 now too, so Eye of the Storm is ready. Looks like he wants to be active with it. It is seen by the ward. Looks like that'll get dewarded pretty soon. Riddies?
Does Nisha just want to settle for Riddies, or does he want to try and go for the lane and see if he can catch out Got the Juice?
Riddies sees him.
Down. Going to get the quick glimpse onto him. So should keep him safe. I mean, well, actually not with the shards like that. They should be able to get him. Boxy, make sure that he still gets the catch on Riddies. TPs are coming in. Nisha wants to finish off the kill, but won't quite be able to dive the tower. Now he's taking huge damage indeed from the Razors coming out from the Got the Juice. Nisha, he wants to swing back, and he's refueling up here with the bottle. They'll get the root onto Got the Juice. The Razors, though, come through. Got the Juice able to take Nisha down. He dies at the end of it all, but Liquid, they took a lot of damage for this aggressive move. And now with Zayat's coming across, they'll pick up the kill against Ace as well. Boxy's got to run. It's a bit of a hectic play there from Liquid to get the kills. And they might still lose Boxy as Zayat's. He's not really got mana to play with anything. Riddies, he's only really got a glimpse to use. That might be enough, though. Snowball is going to be coming out from Boxy and the shards. Nicely done to block them off on the high ground. TP is coming in, though, for Got the Juice. So he actually might be able to line up the raises, and he will. Couple of hits in a raise. Got the Juice. He's more than happy that his supports didn't kill Boxy off, because as he comes back into the lane, he gets to pick up another kill as the SF. I mean, we're seeing so far, Liquid, they're trying to bring the action. A very aggressive move there for Nisha to come and look to use this invisibility rune. It kind of comes back to bite them. Nisha ends up dying for that play.
This is a really interesting kind of sequence of things that happen too. PMA dies top, so immediately they start running for the Wisdom, and I think Niku was actually recovering in terms of farm in mid because Nisha had left, but I think his team made the call. Niku, we need you to go steal the Wisdom, because otherwise we're going to lose both the Wisdoms. So he kind of, even though he could have probably recovered more on net worth there, he actually sacked the net worth to go get the Wisdom for his allies. So he did recover slightly, but he could have recovered more on net worth, but yeah, that's what you got to do for a team.
Riddies trying to keep Zayat safer and all that. See if they can get the snowball in. They're going to be fine in Na'Vi. Na'Vi can back away. Liquid can't quite get the grab on them. Na'Vi able to keep Zayat safe. Now the Tiny to walk back over to the tier 1 here to stay safe around the mid.
No one wants. This is how both teams like to play. I mean, Quinn's going to have a lot to talk about this too, right? Because it's a CY thing, right? There was this Gaming Gladiators versus Liquid year of meta where it was sitting in mid, around the 2 mid. So both teams are kind of doing that similar thing right now. Sharing the experience. Riddies very close to having the 6. This is going to be an early Disruptor level 6. This could catch Liquid off guard if he's able to finish it up here. Very close. I'm surprised they didn't give him a creep or 2 more.
Also, the stacks has been happening elsewhere. I mean, Mikkei's kind of been left with a lot of space top, but as we're seeing, just the fact that there's been so much involvement for Got the Juice that even with the deaths, the kills are out, absolutely outweighing what he's losing with each of the deaths. He's top of the net worth right now on the carry SF. Very happy to sort of be down here and be involved in the action, which it just goes to show really how mobile Na'Vi supports have been, making sure that they've not only been able to just sit around the mid, but also managed to still connect with the carry on the safe lane when needed. Niku's going for him in the mid. He's got the Remnant out.
Can't quite.
Yeah, can't continue to force for the kill.
No. I wanted to point out Mikkei's skill build. This is actually pretty interesting. They might actually go for a glimpse play bottom, so I have to hesitate for a second here. Looks like they can't. But yeah, he maxed power shot. I think it's because he's playing versus the Phoenix. Even though he's tangled, he can't actually get the attack, so he wants that big nuke damage. So, I mean, makes sense to me. Usually you see 4-0-4.
Absolutely, yeah, especially when you're going carry and you're taking tangled, yeah, so definitely a different approach.
Probably about that lane. I think it is more about just helping the lane, and then afterwards he'll have the points for tangled for the movements. So a bit of an interesting adaptation.
Yeah, definitely also, yeah, just letting you push the lane out a bit easier, right? When, you know, your supports have kind of probably said to you, you know, sorry, Mickey, we've got problems elsewhere. We're going to be hanging around the mid lane, making moves down bottom. We don't want to be up here on the safe lane. You know, you're going to be completely solo. And he's able to handle that situation with this build.
Zayats.
Shackle in. PMA is here to try and help out, but focus fires in. Zayats doesn't stand a chance there with the focus fire and tag team combo. PMA's going to attempt to run down Boxy. Niku's got the chains. Tofu has disruption to buy some safety for Boxy. Still has the shards and the snowball. You know, Boxy's making them work for it. Niku, he's not going to be able to continue to run him down. Yeah, just between the two of them, the supports, saves upon saves. Ends up just being a bit of wasted time, unfortunately, for Na'Vi.
These saves are always going to be a problem. There's a reason, as we said, Shadow Demon's banned or picked in the first every single time. Just the power that this hero can do. Just a disruption. And, I mean, of course, Boxy with some 6 shards. We've seen him do a couple times here. Na'Vi getting the pressure on top, though. Playing around, got the juice. As you said, top net worth on this SF. They've got this Static Storm ready, so if... Liquid, if they're not properly set up, they can't actually go for this defense. They also are always going to have Glimpse versus the Fiend's Gate, so... We'll see how Liquid wants to be able to set up the defenses. The Tusk is coming.
Yeah, they're coming in. But it has been hit by the scan, so Na'Vi know that these sort of TPs are coming in.
Juice.
Got the juice. He wants to push to finish the tab, and now the fortification comes out. They get the shards underwater. He's going to go for the Requiem. Might actually be a bit of a toss to the side. Gets him into a bit of a favorable position. As they're actually able to just kill off Boxy without the Requiem, just to sort of the right clicks alone. They get the tower, Na'Vi. Now they can try and push on for more. Liquid, of course, were able to kite out the Supernova coming in from PMA. It works, you know. It did look a bit, you know,
it's a lot
kind of having the Requiem being interrupted. But why not the Requiem? You know, Zayat says, no, you don't need to use that yet, son. You know, keep that safe for the next fight.
He had the right idea.
They get a kill.
Right?
Yeah.
Zayats is like, my guy's stuck in shards. I want to toss him out. There is a Static Storm and an Egg and everything on top. But either way, he's thinking about just saving his buddy. Liquid, they kind of reacted, but I could tell, I think Nisha was like, I'm not going. Nisha was just hitting creeps, so
sure.
Maybe it was an attempted defense, and then they realized there was just no way when they know they can get glimpsed.
Yeah. In terms of builds, right, you were talking earlier about obviously the power of a inevitable pipe on Liquid's lineup. The same to be said, right, for the BKBs, and that's why we're getting what Nisha going for this BKB rush straight up on the Razor. Once he has that, other than the SF, he's going to be pretty much indestructible, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing versus when you have less team fight than the opposing team, if you want to rush BKBs, it can absolutely work. As Boxy,
get the catch
not
on
dying
him.
the fastest.
He's got Snowball to buy him time. But there's not going to be anyone else helping him out this time round. Tofu not anywhere close by to sort of bail him in that situation. So another kill to be found by Na'Vi. Okay, yes indeed going to get PMA in return. And there is nobody coming to punish him. So Mickey, again, throughout this all, only the one death. He's getting the chance for these kills. He's living a pretty quiet life, really, on the top lane, but he's happy with it. He's happy with it. Still not quite keeping up, though, with the farm of Got the Juice, just because of the overall objectives, right, they've been able to take. You know, we're seeing Na'Vi already pushing down the tier 1s, maybe even finding a chance to go on Ace. Ace is pretty tanky with the Vanguard and the Cloak. And with the TPs coming in, Na'Vi will quickly back away from trying to go in for that one. But yeah, Na'Vi are enabling this SF pretty good right now. Got the Juice is hitting some pretty impressive timings.
Yeah, and I think like we were mentioning, right, Na'Vi overall, I think they want to be the ones dictating the pace. Liquid's draft is a bit more slow-paced, waiting for these auras, waiting for those BKBs to counteract this heavy team fight, the Egg, etc. So I like the way Na'Vi's playing. All 3 tier 1s have been claimed. Liquid has not really touched too much of the tier 1s, and they're keeping this oppressive playstyle. So looking for these moves, placing aggressive wards, looking for the catches. But Liquid, they're not getting as caught. They are sitting back, they're getting ready, waiting for these BKBs for Nisha in particular to rally around. See his approach works. Got the juice, as you said. He's continuing to just be very, very large in this game.
Yeah. No, he really is. He's probably close to the point where I mean, you know, what do they look for next? At tier 2s this early? Is that sort of on the menu? Or at this sort of stage when you come to the 15-minute mark, is it very much a let's wait till the 20 minutes, get the Tormentor, get the Roshan, and then we'll look to take our lead to the next stage?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Wait to fight around your cooldowns, play around your cooldowns as best as possible versus Liquid's lack of big team fight cooldowns, and play to the number advantage. You know that the way the Liquid's going to fight is try to Fiend's Gate port, bring this extra number. If you have the numbers there, you glimpse that target out, it's going to take him a couple seconds to come back. So Na'Vi still continue to play as this unit, 4 heroes in the top jungle. Zayats is away from them, but they're still
Riddy's just looking to set up.
playing.
Snowball's going to be coming in onto Riddies. He'll immediately turn, lay down the kinetic field and the static storm. Got the juice trying to come in from the side. They'll use the supernova. Can would take it down. Nisha's looking to kill the egg off. They'll be able to bring it down successfully.
Niku hit it.
Got the... Oh, that's pretty big, Bray. He got the deny. That was cute. That was certainly cute. He's dead, though.
Wait. Okay, 1 second. I need to look.
Well, okay, I see what, because you want to do the math and say if he didn't deny it, would it have actually been successful?
I think it probably would have died because there had 1 hit left, but the Requiem
I'm sure it
came out
must
at the
have
same
died.
time.
Dude,
like,
there's no way.
Were
Surely.
During
Let's have a look.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Watch the Requiem. Watch the Fear. Wait up. Let me see.
I'm watching. No, Nisha would have hit. Nisha would have hit it.
Nisha would have hit. Okay.
Nisha, he was BKB. He would have hit it. So, you know, Niku,
Perfect.
able to sort of limit what Liquid get a little bit there by getting the deny on the supernova. And he didn't grief because the supernova would have been killed anyway.
Fair enough.
Still not a great fight for Na'Vi, though. They lose big kills
deep.
at the end of that.
I think Riddy's camping the front line.
Sides. Got the toss on the Boxy. Still got the snowball, though. But Niku on top of him. He's not running away from this one. Surely not. No. Avalanche gets him. Boxy will fall.
That was, okay, so yeah, Na'Vi, I like how they're playing oppressively and all, but I think Radius has to be a bit more careful with his positioning. Disruptor.
That was a little too much, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit too far forward. It's because they didn't have the Tiny, I think. So PMA dove forward, they're trying to get information, but they don't have their actual, walk up and initiator on the Tiny, so it got a little awkward. Sorry, Nico, I didn't mean to do you injustice. The BKB Razor was offside for me.
But dude, if he was it was very much worth looking at, right? Because that could have been a little awkward. But now Niku, he assessed the situation. He knew it was safe to take his teammate down, get that deny.
Take his teammate down. Like
sometimes it's something about you don't actually get like obviously the exclamation right when it's a supernova, but if there's any time one of your teammates has got one of those exclamations over their head, you have to hit them. You don't even have to think about it. It's just for a boost in morale. Everyone finds it funny when their teammate denies them, I think. Well, at least that's what I believe when I mute them. Anyway, bottom lane.
He's trying to poke the BKB. That's what those type of plays are for. You're trying to force BKB so then maybe you can go for a play after. But Nisha's being patient. Liquid is getting these timings, so items... They're starting to rack in. Pipe almost done for Ace, Mjolnir for the Wind Ranger, and the BKB for the Razor. Yeah. So Na'Vi have to be very ready for this next fight.
They might catch Tofu here. Yeah, they'll drop a Static Storm. Nisha's going to be here at the side to try and help out. The glimpses there, getting Tofu back in towards the Static Storm. They get the kill. Na'Vi probably in their best interest to back away now that the time's been there for the rest of Liquid to turn up. Looking at the Roshan here, Na'Vi.
With a kill? Anytime you get a kill with SF, you get that presence. You have opportunity to go for this threaten. I think they could... How long on this Steel respawn? I think they can contest on Liquid.
I was going to say, I think Liquid's going to want to. They've just picked up the pipe on Ace.
Oh, DD. That's fortunate, forgot the chip.
Well, that might actually change sort of the situation here. Still, I think Liquid's going to turn up. I mean, they're surely going to want to. I said they got Ace with the pipe. He's got the Fiend's Gate ready to join them. They are going to have to do it soon here, Liquid. Roshan falling. Scout out the situation. Nisha's ready to kind of come in from the sidelines. Got the juice. He wants to finish it off. He'll use the record to try and push them back. He'll get the kill. They'll pick up the Aegis. Nisha pops the BKB. Will look to take out the Supernova. He'll be able to kill it. Can he get away, though? Glimpse on towards Nisha. Caught by the chains, but it's absolutely just casualty after casualty on Na'Vi's side. Got the juice is going to try and TP out, but the disruptions there from Tofu. They're going to lose everybody for that fogged on Na'Vi. They were so close there to it working out. They get the kill. They use the Requiem and the Supernova at the end to try and secure the situation, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Liquid turn up. They're ready to take these fights. And
the Underlord timing.
The Roshan and Aegis for nothing at the end of the day. They get team-wide fogged.
They see it again. I think like right before the fight finishes, I think he gets the pipe, jumps in, barriers everyone, and it just stops. Look, they all have that extra little blue barrier, and it protects all of them. That pipe is just giving so much extra protection. The egg, I think he missed one attack on Nisha on it, but then ends up getting that last one. He completely focused it himself. Just the Razor killed the egg.
Yeah, that was...
Liquid just very good target priority in the team fight. The angle that Nisha comes in, I think caught them off guard.
Dude, I think he actually missed like 3 hits on the egg.
Was it 3? I thought he switched targets, but you might be right, yeah.
Because I think the Ace was the one who kind of saved the day, then actually came in with the last melee hit to kill it. It definitely started to look like maybe that Supernova was going to be successful, but of course it wasn't. And maybe even if it was at that point, the fight's still not going to go too hot for Na'Vi. I mean, they had the right read to try and push for the Roche. Yeah, we'll see it again. Look, let's see how many misses he gets.
I saw
He hits
at
that
least one. I didn't. I saw.
Is this one at one?
But
Oh no, never mind. He hit that. It's now, I think. Oh no, never mind. He hit that one as well. That one he misses.
that he hits.
Okay, then he hit the SF. I
Then he
think,
missed
yeah,
the
you're
SF.
right. Then he's, yeah. Okay, so just the one. You're right.
But yeah, great approach from Nisha. This BKB is massively paying off, as we see. He's the one that just kills the egg. He just BKBs, commits, kills the egg. No one else worries about it. It is level 2 egg now with Shiva, so maybe that's going to add an extra element that he might not be able to, but that was a pretty commanding fight win for Liquid around that.
Look at this move mid.
The Ember now. Niku.
They're going for Nisha. Ooh, that's a solid avalanche toss back, but it's still not quite enough. The BKB's off from Nisha. Backup comes in. Zayats is going to get run down by the Razor. Snowball coming in over towards Riddies. He'll drop down the Static Storm, go for the TP out, and I tell you what, there's nothing to stop that, so he'll get out of there. Same to be said for Got the Juice. Also goes for the BKB TP. So Na'Vi, they're able to make sure that they only lose the Tiny, but still, obviously, it's just these team fights, these trades. Liquid are coming out on top. 5k lead now for the team. Further auras coming into play. Crimson Guard's now done for Ace. They're getting the BKBs, the Blinks online. Boxy's going to have his Blink coming out in the courier, so the saves are going to be even more substantial from Liquid. It does feel like it's going to start getting harder and harder for Na'Vi now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I had a big worry around the pipe timing. I looked at their lineup and I'm like, my goodness, this is all magic damage. SF takes some time to ramp up in physical. I think the itemization from Liquid is just on point here. The Razor rushing BKB, of course, the pipe, as we mentioned,
smart,
but just now they have Crimson also. The Atrophy aura is going to reduce a ton of the damage too. These fights are very hard for Na'Vi to approach now at this point. Niku has been completely shut down. Same thing for PMA. It really is just Got the Juice versus the world now, and so much of that damage being negated is a problem.
Yeah. They're having to go for sort of the backup plans here. PMA looking for the Midas. It's got that queued up now as the Phoenix. Some heroes, some carries, right? You're kind of okay with it being a 4 protect 1, but SF, it's not really one of the ones that's at the top of the list, right? That you kind of feel all right being just that one scaling presence on the team. It's a little risky, right, when it falls down to just the SF alone to carry the game onwards to the later portions.
Yeah, if you had if it was an SF with let's say like a Mars as the offlaner instead of the Phoenix, where they have that hard lockdown, big team fight control, then maybe I can be a little more happy with the 4 protect 1. But with this one, he's playing versus the Razor Link, he's playing versus the Tusk Punch, he's playing versus a Shadow Demon, Demonic Cleanse. A lot of these abilities are just completely shut down when you are playing a 4 protect 1. You just purge the SF, you just punch the SF, and it's gonna make it really hard for Got the Juice. So he needs this Daedalus. He needs every single item that he can get. Because, his work is cut out for him versus Liquid's just very strong group up.
Yeah, they've been very good at this, Liquid, in the kind of the previous games that we've had them here on the main stage. Just kind of knowing when to react, right? When to wait, and when to hit the creeps, and then when to be like, all right, we've got everything to beat them in a 5v5. Now we're going to turn up for them every single time that the enemy tries to run into them. This is sort of Liquid now in their element, and getting to play the game at a pace that has been very successful for them so far in the series that we've seen from them the last few days.
Pretty much since that top play happened, right? It's all started to quickly swing. Liquid was already they were fine, right? They were still even. Na'Vi really wanted to press the issue forward here. Now it's, the question of what's your recovery outlet? Since your SF needs the crit, he's the only one who's really going to get that much stronger in these next few moments. Niku will also, but I think PMA, the Phoenix's game is going to get pretty damn difficult because he's got his timings, right? He's got Shivas at a pretty okay time, but as we saw there, it didn't matter.
He did. But he's pretty much going to be a Shivas and a Supernova in the team fights. With all the BKBs and magic resistance from the pipes, the effect's just going to be about the kind of the slows and the stun through the BKB with the Supernova. If he can get it off successfully, and obviously as we've seen the last few times, Liquid, they don't have troubles prioritizing the team, just focusing down the egg, making sure they get the kill on it. It's going to be even easier now that Mikkei's got his BKB, so he'll be able to just look towards taking that down uninterrupted by any sort of attack speed slows. And they're actually ready to just get aggressive now with the smoke liquid. They're not afraid to start making the moves themselves now with the lead that they've managed to build up.
They can Fiend's Gate. They can bring 5, so it's not a 3-man gank. They can quickly be on top of Got the Juice.
And look what they found.
Is near.
It's the big target. They get the setup. We'll get the BKB off. He'll try for a Requiem, but he's not. Ooh. Actually going to be able to get it off, but it doesn't matter. He's dead. PMA's caught in the root. I mean, it's the perfect find, right? They find the SF. They jump him. He gets his BKB off. He gets his Requiem off. It doesn't matter, Fog. He's still dead.
The stability of Liquid, you're just seeing it. Na'Vi, it's an uphill battle for them, of course, versus Liquid, but now you're starting to see the Liquid, the timings, right? We said it might be a little slow in terms of early game, but as soon as they get those timings hit, how does Na'Vi break it? And now Zaya
And another
also.
one. Yep, they're going to be able to find. Boxer with the setup, Mika with the follow-up. Na'Vi, how are they going to slow this down now? How do they sort of get themselves out of this tough situation? Starting to fall behind.
It's hard to see how they can make the moves around, since they just, every time that they're respawning now even, this Fiend's Gate's going to be back up too, so they can always just bring the numbers. Liquid identifying exactly how to take complete control of the map now, it feels.